welcome back to Purple Sector. And what the hell is going on with Aston Martin?
I don't know. I think Nepo Daddy and Arrow Daddy had a fight. Um, no, it's interesting, right? All this hype about Nui, the car is bad. Um, we can
Car's
only
terrible.
speculate where this is coming from. Oh yeah, underselling that for sure. But it sounds like while he said, "I'm here already. I'm going to be team principal." Um, he's not up for it. It's not fun. It takes away from his ability to design the car, and so Newey's stepping down. Um, rumor is Jonathan Wheatley stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jonathan Wheatley, so no complaints there. I wish he was still at Red Bull.
I'm
Um,
a little sad that he's not at Audi. He looked good in his quarter zip last weekend in China.
and we're both kind of hyped on Audi this season, so yeah, I like him. Him being reunited with Newey might be pretty cool. Aston saying it was always a temporary role. I think that's just a little CYA. Um,
Well, when you don't say that, right? That everyone always comes out. Like think about the NFL or any other sporting event, right? Like coach gets fired, so and so is the interim head
yeah,
coach.
yeah.
That was never said. And so this to me feels like a plan gone wrong, not he was a stopgap until we find somebody else.
No, 100%. And them saying it's a temporary role is just silly. I recommend it to you. Watch the High Performance Podcast. There is a Newey episode, which is super cool because you get to know how the guy functions. He's insanely smart, but he does not like to be the face. He likes to
Mm-mm.
be behind the scenes. He doesn't want the credit. The dude has built cars that have won so many championships. Like, why even put him in the team principal spot to begin with? Like, I don't care if you're in need of one. You can freaking find one. The only person he's
Yeah,
made very obvious he doesn't want is Christian Horner, which I could understand because we still don't know all the drama that happened there.
yeah. Well, we don't want another tech scandal. Um, yeah, I mean, it seems like no one really wants to own this car, right? Him not wanting to be the forward face is one thing, but to also have to do that when the car is a shitbox, like
Yeah,
also terrible.
yeah.
But
You have your driver's not holding onto the wheel going down a straight.
yeah,
It's
I
deadly.
they've come out and said, Aston as a team has come out and said that they don't subscribe to the idea of a traditional team principal role. Um, and I find this hilarious because look at every team that's won a championship, every successful team in F1. What do they have? Team principal, right? They're the only team that thinks they can get away with this, but it's clearly not working. And so to have this kind of contradictory team setup, leadership structure that's convoluted and unclear, and clearly it hasn't worked, right? They had a little bit of success at the beginning of 2023, but the team really hasn't been that great despite all the investment and the big names that they've thrown at these projects. So I find it pretty humorous that they say, we don't have a traditional team principal role. Then get one.
Yeah,
Go get a
change it up
team
a little
principal and it
bit.
might help you.
I think part of it too is reading an article on BBC today is that Lawrence Stroll has all the money. Obviously, he's very successful, and he very much is trying to make the right moves. But it's almost like he's jumping at the first big name or at the first sign of error. Like, oh, we're falling back a little bit. So he's like, oh, panic time. Let's fire this person. Let's fire this person. Let's send this guy a check. Let's get Newey. When you look at a lot of these like very successful teams, they have declines. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Christian Horner. Red Bull went up and down, but they're very successful. Total Wolf, I mean, they haven't always had the best season. Like last year wasn't, a typical Mercedes season, which is like how it, had felt for so long. But they don't just, oh, we have a semi-bad car. Let's go and fire, Christian. Let's go fire Toto. Let's go and fire, whoever. Let's just fire him. McLaren
There's
had some
something to
bad years, and
be
Zach Brown's still the CEO. It's not like you're just like, oh, this guy's like, we don't want him attached to the McLaren name.
Well, what you're speaking to is the value of consistency, right? Like performance is going to dip and flow. You've got reg sets, you've got developments, you've got all these other things that factor in, right? But having a team culture, a leadership structure, there's trust, there's relationships, you kind of know what to expect. Having that type of rapport with your staff, knowing who the go-to person is for this and that, when it's this revolving door, and I think this will be their fifth team principal in as many years.
Yes.
How can you expect to have any type of consistent structure? I mean, Lance is going to go talk to Daddy, right?
Yeah.
But I really wonder what's going on in Alonso's head.
I mean, the dude's probably just looking at his watch, like, you guys promised a
Is
championship
it time to
car. I was
retire?
like, I could go do endurance racing the max, and we'll probably win over and over and over again.
I pray that happens.
That'd be awesome. And just grab Schumacher and they'll be chilling. I think that culture you're talking about, that's the big thing Jonathan Wheatley believes in, is that positive culture. That's the big thing he spoke about at Kick, and now Audi. So I could see that maybe working for them, but obviously they have some major design issues, which whether Newey's being demoted, stepping down just to focus, whatever it is, I think that's where they want him. He doesn't need to be the face. Let the man talk to Honda, get with his engineers,
I
figure
think
out.
he's got stake in the team. So yeah, I don't think Newey's like being demoted in that way, but it definitely feels like, hey, I bit off more than I can chew. Let me call my old buddy from Red Bull, get him in here, let him focus on this stuff so I can focus on what I'm good at. And I think you're right. I think from what I've heard from interviews about Jonathan Wheatley and when he stepped into Sauber and now Audi, so much of it was about team culture. And so who knows?
He showed that on Drive to Survive. Like that was the big. They had like one episode where they focused on him, and that's like he doesn't get angry. He doesn't like. He's just very like, what can I do to help you? Like,
we're gonna move forward.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's kind of the same reason why we both like James Valls, his approach and leadership, and like that's someone you build rapport and trust with, and you can kind of solidify a team around, right? So I don't know. I hope that happens. Speaking of which, there's a whole lot of drama about how his name came to the surface. Obviously, Audi cutting ties with him with immediate effect was a result of them catching wind that he was talking to Aston. But something led to him wanting to talk to Aston. And so as we've been hearing in the rumor mill is he's not happy in Switzerland, his team's in England, or his family's in England rather. And he's having to live in Switzerland and that's kind of a drain to him. Sounds like there's a little bit of a power struggle with him and Mattia Binotto.
Time to go home.
It just seemed like he wasn't happy. Yeah. The other thing that I've heard is, Jonathan Wheatley came from Red Bull before he went to Kick. Right.
Yeah.
And from what I know about the Red Bull leadership is they kind of have Helmut Marko and the board, right? But it's a pretty lean leadership structure. They have a lot of flexibility and kind of a lot of autonomy within their roles. And the rumor is that Audi particularly is very bureaucratic. A lot of boards, a lot of reviews, a lot of hierarchy, and it was red tape that he was really frustrated that he had to cut through.
Yeah, so same BBC article, as I got deeper into it about Audi, is like I couldn't keep up with all the names. Like you have like your base people, and it's like, oh, and then this guy's in here, and then the CEO's in here, and then this guy, and then this guy's like way up in Audi, and it's like, and then you have. There was multiple
names you haven't heard of.
The entire Sauber board is part of their processes. So it's like, no wonder you have to go through all this red tape. You have way too many people involved.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe this whole idea of not having a traditional leadership structure is actually going to work out. And it truly has been about trying to get the right people in there. And maybe Jonathan Wheatley's the answer. I don't know. but how much longer is daddy going to throw money to win his kid a championship? At what point is that going to end?
I was just going to bring up drivers. Fernando, limited time, still think he's great. I mean, he's if he doesn't get a good car in this reg set, I don't see him sticking around. I don't know why he would. I don't even know if he'd make it through the whole reg set. Like, I don't think if they're competitive by next year, I think it's time for him to move on. Obviously, he'll dominate somewhere else. Um, Lance, I don't think he's the best out there, but obviously he's an F1. He's a competent driver at least. He's made some really stupid stuff that kind of makes you doubt that. But
You can
obviously he's been in F1 for this long for a reason. If you give the dude a good car, like, he has had past decent results.
He's been on the podium before when it was with Racing Point.
Yeah.
He's got the talent. He won the F2 Drivers Championship, but the body language is a red flag for me. When maybe he just hates talking to the media, but he looks depressed when he's in the media pen. He does not sound like a happy dude.
There's a lot of negative that comes with Lance's name. I hate to say it. Like, I joke about it all the time, that how bad he is, but truly, give the guys respect. He is an F1, yeah, sure, daddy's money. Like, he has the team. So maybe he's been in F1 longer than other people would have made it with the mistakes.
Got a longer leash.
Yeah, he's got a way longer leash. He's got one of those retractable ones that you get yanked back and then you pull it back out.
He's ran around the tree a few times.
He took too many checks. Hold on a second. Stop winning the Destructors Championship. But I mean, they have a competent driver team. They don't have a rookie in there. So if you could deliver a, above average car, they should be running P4, P5, P6. You would think with how the development went, and then where they just took a step back is crazy. Because what, 2023, their car was pretty good.
Yeah, we're going to get into our predictions for Japan, but one of the rumors is that there's a fix coming for this vibration issue. And so if over the course of the season, Honda can get its act together and deliver a motor that doesn't have these issues, could we see a resurgence? I don't know if they're winning races, but maybe they're scoring points by the end of the season. I don't know.
That would be an improvement.
Well, anything would be an improvement at this point, but yeah.
Let's get away from Aston for a minute because this is going to make me sad. We like the color of the car, at least.
That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful car. It's just terribly slow right now and a death trap for anyone inside. Special liveries. Japan liveries usually don't disappoint. I mean, you had the Red Bull last year. It's definitely, top 3 livery all time. I don't even know what it's competing with. I still have it on my phone. I still have it on my freaking desktop wallpaper.
I'm waiting for the 1 to 43 scale to come out so I can buy it for my son.
Yeah, I need one too. Not even for my son. I just need one.
But where do you want to start?
Godzilla livery.
Godzilla. Oh.
Let me pull it up again.
You could probably tell from my reaction, but this one falls flat for me. I think they spent so much time and energy hyping up. The rumors mill started swirling late last week when this was announced to be a thing. And then it drops, and I don't know, they basically have just put a black silhouette on the rear of the car and changed the color of their side pod logo. Like, I don't know. I think this could have been done a lot more intentionally. Like, if you're going to do a special livery, do a special livery. I'm really tired of these, like, half-ass, like,
they had a 5-year-old draw Godzilla and slapped it on the side of the car. That's literally what they did. I think the Godzilla is terrible. And we had talked about this a little bit before recording the episode. Like, where's the blue flame? Like, make Godzilla big. Make the entire front third, like front wing, make it the freaking fire come out of his mouth. Like, buildings exploding. Like, you could get more detail on a tattoo on someone's body in a smaller space. Like, it's There's,
I mean, maybe they
uh,
got like
I don't
sponsor
know.
stuff happening, like Toyota won't let them change the main livery colors or something. Like, I don't know what's at play here, but this just, it falls flat for me. I don't do more. If you're gonna call it a special livery, make it special.
I want the normal one back. I like the normal one.
The normal one's better.
Um, yeah, just Godzilla could be bigger even. I mean, it's just
Well, I
you
think the
almost
other thing
wouldn't
for
notice
me,
if they didn't say anything.
well, that was going to be my point. Is on track, I don't think you're even going to notice that it's different. It's going to look like the same car on track.
No, it's no different.
Disappointment.
All right, let's go to Mercedes. I know I don't have a lot of opinion on this one. It's kind of whatever for me, but I know you have stuff to say, or at least one thing.
I think the wolf logo is interesting. I think the car itself, the livery, is less egregious, but I think the team kit stuff, the merch, looks like a band T-shirt from Creed or something.
I forgot
Like
to look
it
up
looks
the merch.
terrible. It's just a giant wolf head on their normal shirt.
Team kit. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty bad stuff.
I'm
I think the
I
cars.
have a picture of Kimmy. It looks like he's gonna be in a vampire movie.
Yeah, it's kind of cringe. I'm not a fan.
It's pretty bad.
The car is better. The implementation of the wolf on the car is better. But again, I'm so tired of these ticky tacky like, oh, we did this special livery. Like, no, you printed like 2-3 foot long stickers and put it on the front wing. Like, that's not a special livery.
Office printer can print out enough to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. And why? Like, is it supposed to be for Toto Wolff? Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, kind of lame. You might as well theme the whole car. Just the front wing is kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they better bite off some freaking rear wings or something, or else this is pointless. You take out like a rear right tire or something. Come on, George. Do it.
I don't know. Stick a furry tail above the exhaust pipe or something. Like, lean into it.
do something. All right, that one's bad. That did not help.
Speaking of which, special liveries, no special livery for Aston.
Yeah.
At their home Grand Prix.
That's when you know they're in trouble.
That tells you how the team feels about that Honda engine when this is Honda's home race. They did not want to make this a milestone and try to do something special when the car is so bad.
Any attention to our car, please.
Yeah.
Nothing. Third one, Racing Bulls. My favorite. I like it better than their normal livery.
Agreed.
You got the metallic finish on all the red, and so you got just like every other Red Bull car, you got the classic Red Bull logo on the top. But I like the shade of the red. It's kind of torn, gives off slight, I don't want to say flames, but kind of that like tearing look. It just looks aggressive. They stuck with the white that looked good last year on the Red Bull car, not the Racing Bull. It just looks aggressive. I like the red outline on the front. The whole front side kind of is like a red outline. Just clean, fun.
Yeah. I think they were trying to do like Japanese calligraphy design. I saw some of their media stuff. The car launch was epic. I don't know if you saw that. They basically had like this impromptu car meet reveal thing with like cars drifting. It was like totally Red Bull style, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, I saw a highlight of that. I didn't actually. I'll have to look it up. I did not see that. I saw the Haas one, which is super lame.
I didn't see that one.
Literally just like.
What was more lame, the reveal or the livery itself?
The reveal was more lame than the livery, which is sad.
Ouch.
They literally just pulled the cover off, and then both drivers were just like this, and then they had a lame shirt.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sweatshirts or whatever that they were wearing when they crossed the street. Or
Ocon like looked at something in the car and like touched it, almost like they they made an error or something. Like there's a chip. I don't know what he did, what was
There's
going
a
on.
bubble in the vinyl
Yeah,
wrap.
he's like, oh, this
Yeah.
is gonna slow me down. Wait, this is my car.
Well, back to the RB. I like the red color, but I don't like it with the yellow. It's like a red wine color. It's really similar to the red they used on last year's Red Bull, the senior
Yes,
team.
very, very
But I
similar.
don't think it works with this, like, and it might be the rendering that I'm looking at, but it's kind of like more of a matte-ish yellow.
Yeah,
And the mid matte yellow with the metallic red wine isn't it for me. I know why they did it, because if they didn't, everyone would just be like, oh, you ripped off last year's Red Bull.
yeah, it'd be
But
like just a slightly shifted version of it.
yeah. Um, Interesting point, and this came up in our livery ranking, was not in the rendering that I'm looking at, but I think it was in the reveal. Their wheel covers are different. So you'll recall that I didn't like their wheels because it was basically just a full white circle.
Yeah,
What they had in that was actually the exposed spokes of the rim. The rim was painted white, but they didn't have the full coverage of the spokes like they do,
yeah.
at least in this. So who knows what they come with in Japan, but it looks like they're toying with that.
I could see it being fully covered again. They just, for the reveal, they're like, hey, let's make it look a little cooler, and then we're gonna go back to what we normally race with.
We'll see.
Well, let's hop off liveries. Unfortunately, we only got three, which is more like two and a third. Um,
Yeah.
Mercedes not coming in too hot with doing their full car, but upgrade
Two and a
packages.
wing.
Macarena wing.
Macarena wing. Yeah, I mean, the rumor is 5 to 10 kph in the straights. So
So
is this going to close the gap
is
to
that
Mercedes?
upside down or is that normal? So I'm assuming it's
Well,
like
that's upside down.
flipped up.
Yeah, so that's in straight mode. That's 5 to 10 kph more on the straights, and that doesn't feel like that's enough. But just based visually on the closing speed between the Mercedes, I don't know off the top of my head what their peak speeds are on those straights, but 5 to 10 doesn't seem like enough, but it's better.
I think 5 to 10 will make a pretty big difference because if you look at, how they usually have like the top speed tracker for the race, and it's usually like within like 1 kph of each other. If they're getting like closer to the 10 range, they might really break that, speed difference with Mercedes. Like if they can stop that close speed, Ferrari could be looking pretty good because they could keep up on the corners. It's those long straights that Mercedes is just there every time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty clear that Mercedes still has by far the best car. And we talked about this in I think it was the China Grand Prix breakdown, was the advantage that Mercedes has as to why they can be slower in the corners. They have more grip, they can harvest more, then they can deploy more in the straights. I don't think that's going to change. But this can only help. Closing the gap with speed can only get them closer. So we'll see. But I'm excited to see it live on track again.
Yeah, and what Japan has, I can't remember the track layout perfectly. Two long straights, at least.
Two long straights. This will be the first year that they have a straight mode on the back stretch. So kind of the end of sector 2 going into sector 3, between Spoon and 130R.
Yeah, I did see that, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be cool to see if there's more passes going into 130R. There's the famous Alonso pass. Like, I knew I was going to get him because he has a wife and kids. He was going to lift.
Family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who knows? We might see some sketchy passing.
We're going to have to rate some Alonso quotes.
Oh, that's a great.
That's a yes. Yeah. That's happening. That's definitely happening. Aston is gonna be. You talked about it earlier. Hopefully, they're bringing their upgrade package, which is just let's stop the vibrations. So it's just gonna be lost my train of thought. Battery mounting system. So we'll see if the drivers could hold onto the wheel on the straights, if they don't, lose feeling in their limbs, and hopefully, I mean, I would imagine that if you're stopping a major vibration, the car's performance is going to go up in general. Typically, I
Even
mean, you
just the
drive your normal
reliability.
road car, it's not supposed to have crazy vibrations. So if you have vibrations, something bad is happening, typically.
Yeah, they've been a little coy about really getting into how much of their retirements have been tied to this vibration and driver safety versus how much of it is car reliability. I think having a better mounting point, yes, is going to make the reliability better. But I also think this is probably one of those upgrades that you don't 100% solve the first time around. So this might be iteration 1, and we might have to go 2 or 3 iterations of this to completely squash the vibrations. Now, can they complete a Grand Prix now? Maybe. I don't know. You're probably not going to have Alonso driving with his fingertips.
I would hope not.
At least, hopefully not. Yeah. So,
well,
I don't know. I'm eager. I'm eager to see throughout the season if they can fix this and bring the fight to some of the other teams.
Yeah, and then actually, it's not my team, but you're the one that read up on Red Bull package, so please share.
Yeah. Well, rumor. So I don't know how much of this is true, but sounds like they might be bringing some side pod stuff, maybe some floor stuff, and really just trying to bring a little bit of balance to the car. Max and Isaac both complained pretty vocally about the balance of the car in China. I mean, you saw them struggle in the sprint, and then everyone was questioning, hey, are they going to tweak their setup and come back stronger for the race? We've seen Max do that countless times. No, didn't happen. And so something's got to give with that car, and it sounds like Laurent Mekies is bringing an upgrade package to try to get after that.
I mean, hopefully it helps a lot, but even a little bit. I mean, we've seen Mercedes and Ferrari so far ahead, but speaking on Red Bull's side, their car, compared to the rest of the field, their car isn't that bad if they can fix some of those small things and not, have to, retire the car. You've already seen Max fight from the back and get up there twice. So the car is not terrible, but it's not good.
Yeah.
Good would be a tiny bit behind Ferrari, but they're not. Like, I don't think McLaren or Red Bull are good. So hopefully this gets them on McLaren's level, maybe a little bit above. We still don't know McLaren because Piastri hasn't raced. So
that's what I was going to say. We're making assumptions about where McLaren is right now. We've got a very small sample size. We're basically just looking at qualifying, and if we've learned nothing else from this reg set, is you can't trust that. The reliability and the one lap pace is not the signifier here. The race is much, 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 much different.
Yeah. Will we get a race that all cars start and all cars finish? That's the big question.
I think we'll see some McLaren Red Bull battling, assuming all cars are on track. So
yeah,
we'll see.
See if that happens. So let's stay with Japan. Super early predictions, since we have no idea how qualifying's going or upgrades.
I think it's too early to write off Mercedes, and so I think we're going to wind up with another double podium for Merc and probably one Ferrari. I'm going to go George, Kimi, Charles.
Ooh, I'm going Kimi, Charles, George. I'm going to split the Mercedes. I did this last time. Poor choice.
I think this is only Kimi's second time at this track. And I think we might see the equivalent of a sophomore slump coming off of a win.
Okay.
I think George
right now.
You think he's on a roll? He's just going to keep going.
Got hyped. This is the kid that burned out in the second to last corner when he was winning the Grand Prix.
I
might have
panicked
the
when he did that,
sauce.
but looking back on it, that was freaking sick.
Yes. I couldn't find a good picture of it. So the pod we did on that one, you could not find a good shot of that. That
Oh,
wasn't
it's
at
out
least
there
that
now.
wasn't at least you'd have to pay a bunch of
Yeah.
money to get it without someone's logo on it, without the watermark. So you could not
But
find one.
we need to go to the Grand Prix and take our own pictures, I guess.
Yeah. Well, can't do that with 2 viewers.
We'll get there.
So no money. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah, I'm excited for Japan. We also don't have to get into it, but we'll see how the resurfacing goes, especially if it rains. 40%
Yeah, we
chance of
might see
rain,
chaos.
resurfaced. The podium, it could be like Brazil. You could have like 2 Alpines on there. Who knows? It could be if you might get a Cadillac on the podium, or like Vegas. Was it Vegas in the rain last year?
Crazy.
Yes. You could get a Cadillac on the podium. Who knows? Rain and new servicing. It's a disaster.
I don't even know how to respond to that. That's so far out there from in my brain to
We'll
think
end
about
on that.
Cadillac on the podium.
No one knows what's going to happen with the resurfacing in the rain. And on that note, we will leave you. I'll see you next time on Purple Sector.